What is going on, guys? And I mean that. What is going on? Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down the description. If you're anything like me, you sat there every commercial break, going into halftime, as the game ended, and you were anxiously waiting. Now, we did get some rumblings during the game that EA had unofficially stated to not expect anything or very little. We also got some clarification that the initial report from 24/7 Sports that information would come out about the game tonight was more tied to the fact that in the past, when EA had the game coming out annually, that they would have the trailer release during the championship game. So all of those stars kind of aligning had all of us assuming that EA would kind of follow suit with the way things had been done and show something. I don't, however, recall this time last year kind of this same anticipation. Now, to be fair, the game was delayed a year, so that could have factored into it. And I know it's very easy to sit back and criticize all the content creators, myself included, that expected something to be released. But I would also offer to you that, the community here on YouTube and other media platforms is tied to EA Sports. I mean, I may not have a direct affiliation, but certainly you can go to a number of channels that do. And I feel like it wouldn't be much for EA to simply respond, right? If you're not going to have anything come out tonight, great. Put out a tweet that said, we've seen some rumors, we've heard some speculation that we'll be releasing information about the game tonight. We just want to make it clear that we're not going to do so. Or, listen, the fact that you've had the game apparently ready for the past, I would think, 18 months. I mean, you've got to be on your beta build. The game is supposed to release in just a handful of months. Would it have really hurt to say grab a couple screenshots, go over to your Twitter and post them? And let me just say, less than 3 minutes into this, I do not expect EA to respond to every single rumor. That would be absolutely reckless, careless, and in a way, inconsiderate of me. But here's what I do expect. EA to have an understanding of the pulse of the community and to react to the community. There should be a pretty open relationship between the entire community and EA Sports. And there's not. It's very gated. And it's gated through content creators, which should even more validate the fact that EA was fully aware of the demand for something tonight. If they weren't, that's fine. But they should have seen that in real time as Twitter overflowed with people expecting, wanting, frustration, disheartened, all of the emotions. And because they weren't prepared to deal with any of this, instead, they blew a huge opportunity when really, how many opportunities have they had where all eyes have been on them? There were people saying they had only watched the game just to see what NCAA football was going to look like. And again, it's so little for them to do. It doesn't take a lot. The game is going to sell. We know that. Madden is going to sell. We know that. The licenses, in part, ensure that. I don't think anyone was going to look at a video or a screenshot tonight and have any expectation of, I'm not going to buy the game, I'm not going to play the game, it looks awful. Sure, I might have broken down some things that make the game look awful, but most people realize the fact that it's built on the Madden engine, it's going to be awful anyway. This is just EA continuing to print money with the same broken football engine they've used for years. But now with the added twist of you've got people that love college football that have been waiting to get their hands on a college football game where they could play as mascots. They have the atmosphere. They have a dynasty mode. I mean, think about it. All the things they could have shown. The atmosphere with cheerleaders. The old play as the mascot game. Just that little thing. And EA knows all too well that that little bit of game nostalgia is all we need to latch onto. Remember when they came out with Madden this year, showed the minicamp, the drills, everyone loved it. I actually said, great idea. We've asked you to bring it back in the game for years. Show it to us now. Was the execution there? Not as good as it used to be, but it was still there. And that's what happens when you listen to your community. When you say, okay, this is what they expect from us, and we are going to try our best. No one is ever going to fault you for trying your best. We fault you because it doesn't even seem like you try. And tonight, in my opinion, was yet another stark reminder of that. This is a game company that, quite frankly, knows they have it made. They've went out, they've cornered the market, and they've sat there and put in low effort for years and years and years. Even when John passed, and they had to dedicate the game to him. Even when they came out and said, our jobs are on the line, and they had to do it for themselves. They've proven incapable. But this was supposed to be the savior, if you recall. This was supposed to be the new team. This was supposed to be a whole new way to play football from EA Sports, NCAA, the dynasty mode you've waited for. College football is back. You know that college football is back tweet is from 2021, and we've never had an update since. Never had an update since. And tonight, they saw the surge. They saw a wave of people that were just asking for anything. Would there have been disappointment if they came out with a tweet and said, listen, we didn't say anything to this effect. We don't have anything to show. We apologize, but we're working on something soon. We'll get it out to you. Sure. But at least the community would have felt like you cared enough to respond. It's the fact that you don't care enough to even take time to put together a simple tweet, to have anything prepared. That is what hurts more than anything else. Yes, people are disappointed. Yes, people are frustrated. But as consumers, we don't feel respected because you're not listening to us. You don't have to make things for us, but please at least be mindful of what we're projecting to you and have some type of response prepared for it. Because if not, you eventually are going to alienate your customers because they're going to see what I've seen for a long time. You make poor products, you treat your customers poorly, and you don't deserve to have these licenses. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. You know I will be back in the week with more commentary.